America is facing growing threats of terrorist violence. We've been talking about this. Some people are saying that threat may come from our southern border. A caravan, now of more than 7,000, is currently marching toward our border with Mexico. They have been on the road for days. And just last week, officials arrested a wanted terror suspect from Senegal after he was allowed to roam the U.S. for 2 weeks. Now the New York Post editorial board is warning the border crisis could lead to another 9/11-like attack on our country. Here's a quote. "It seems just a matter of time now before America suffers another 9/11 scale blow, or worse, given that Team Biden has waved in thousands of immigrants from terror hotbed nations, likely with little or no vetting. And once they're in, it's almost impossible to keep tabs on their whereabouts, let alone what they're up to." Emily, all of that is true. So what do we do now?
Number one, enforce the laws. Number two, take terrorists at their word. Not the kind of word where they try to smooth over what they've done and blame things on Israel, but the word of we are recruiting lone wolves. We are getting new reports that jihadists are doing exactly that in Gaza. And the point remains, with our southern border being so vulnerable, that's the open door that everyone floods through. Listen to the data that we are reporting, that our reporters are reporting. That's what Americans need to do to put pressure on their lawmakers. It kills me that our vice president campaigned on fixing the southern border and then was named the southern border czar and then has done nothing but increase the vulnerability and therefore the risks. Fentanyl is killing Americans at a record rate, and now the lone wolf, that risk at this moment is the FBI's primary concern. That's what we're dealing with. That southern border is paramount for our protection, and it seems the last people to ever know or do anything about it is this administration.
You know, Guy, I'm wondering, with the president set to go meet with President Xi in China now, and just listening to what Emily was just saying about the fentanyl, I'm hoping that that conversation comes up. But this is a president who's been known to make things worse when he speaks.
Yep, and the fentanyl issue is a huge one, killing so many Americans. That's a China issue. That's a border issue. As to the topic that we're talking about here, the national security threat, because what we're seeing at the border is a national sovereignty disgrace. It is a public safety threat as well. The vast majority of illegal immigrants just want a better life for themselves. That's the vast, vast majority of them. That doesn't mean they have a right to be here. They don't. But within that large, enormous group of people, there are going to be some really rotten apples. And what's really frightening to me is...
You mean killers?
Well, yeah. Killers, potential terrorists, gang members, cartel members.
They all kill.
Et cetera. So 2.5 million illegal border crossings in the past fiscal year alone. 2.5 million in 1 year. And then on top of that, 600,000 gotaways that we know of. If we're catching hundreds of people on the terror watch list, or dozens and dozens of people on the terror watch list who are dumb enough or unlucky enough to actually get apprehended, who aren't paying the cartels extra to get away, who is lurking among the 600,000 plus people who got away in the last year alone? That is an alarm bell question.
Yes. Yeah, I want to go back to the President Xi, take another stab at it with you, Kayleigh. The presidents are going to sit down, Biden, Xi, respectively. Fentanyl, the border, all of it is something that China has benefited from as they send that drug and kill so many Americans. What should our president be doing? Should he even be meeting with Xi at this point?
Well, he's been begging for this meeting, so he's going in a very weak posture. We'll see what comes of it. He should meet with him and in no uncertain terms communicate American strength, but we'll see. He doesn't have a good hand and a good way of doing that. But to the point of what's happening at our border, 214,000 migrants have come from Senegal, China, India, and that region. So these are not single, unaccompanied children from Mexico arriving at our border, as the progressives would have you believe. Biden has indicated, at least on Politico as a source, that there'd be some willingness to include border funding with Ukraine. Progressives clapped back and said absolutely not. But he would be wise to stick with those initial instincts, because when you dig into that New York Times poll, 55%, get this, 55% say we support a border wall. A plurality, 49%, say we support strengthening asylum. America has woken up and says we want answers.
Well, we saw the pro-Hamas protesters. The wall around the White House certainly worked. Walls work. Kennedy, you mentioned Senegal, parts of the African continent that we have not seen historically. So many, particularly young men coming from. Senegal is one of them.
Yes, there are a lot of bad actors. The federal government has proven that they are not good at vetting people. The vice president, who's supposed to be the border czarina, has done nothing to improve the systems that would make those vetting processes that would keep Americans safer or that would improve them. She hasn't worked with Congress to pass laws to streamline immigration or to bolster the border issues that we've got. It's only getting worse and worse. It's like trying to bail out a sinking ship with a colander. Yes. And I have very little faith in the apparatus because the vice president is at the helm of it. And I do think that Americans, and even those coming here legally and lawfully who try, they all tend to suffer. And they have absolutely no foresight. It's not getting better. And I worry that at some point it's going to be too late.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kayleigh McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.